It hurts the person who was cheated on deeply, a pain that is often hard to put into words. The moment betrayal enters a relationship, it shifts everything, like the sudden rupture of a delicate thread that had once held two people together. For the person who was cheated on, the emotional weight is overwhelming, and it often feels like a harsh thunderclap, the reverberations of which can be felt for years. It's more than just the physical act of infidelity. It's the betrayal of trust, the shattering of security, and the tearing apart of the intimacy that had been built over time. At the core of the pain is the feeling of being deceived. A person who has been cheated on begins to question everything they thought they knew about their relationship. What was real? What was a lie? How much of what they experienced together was genuine? The confusion is often the first emotional reaction, followed closely by a crushing sense of loss. The connection that they had with their partner now feels hollow, and the love that once seemed so deep and unshakable now feels tainted by deceit. It's not just about the broken bond. It's also about the bruised sense of self-worth. When someone cheats, it can make the person being cheated on question their own value. They might wonder if they weren't good enough, attractive enough, or loving enough to keep their partner's commitment. It's a gnawing feeling that can strip away a person's confidence, making them feel unworthy or inferior. In the wake of infidelity, self-doubt often creeps in, leaving the betrayed person to grapple with their own identity in the aftermath of the betrayal. They may begin to feel as though they were never truly loved or appreciated for who they are. Moreover, there's a deep sadness that comes from the realization that what they shared with their partner was not as sacred as they once believed. They had likely invested so much of themselves, emotionally, mentally, and even physically, into the relationship. They trusted their partner with their vulnerabilities, their hopes, and their dreams. To have that trust shattered so suddenly and violently is not something that can be easily healed. It's not simply the loss of a partner, but the loss of the vision they had for their future together. When someone is cheated on, the trauma doesn't just disappear after the confrontation or the breakup. It lingers, leaving scars that can take years to fully heal. The person who has been betrayed often finds it hard to move on, not just because of the emotional attachment they still feel, but because the process of rebuilding trust, either within themselves or in future relationships, feels nearly impossible. Every relationship that follows is haunted by the memory of betrayal, and the fear of being hurt again becomes a shadow that looms over their heart. But it's not only emotional pain that the betrayed person suffers. Physical symptoms are often intertwined with the emotional turmoil. The heartache can lead to sleepless nights, loss of appetite, and a general feeling of emptiness. Stress can manifest in the body, leaving them feeling exhausted and unable to focus on anything but the betrayal. Their world, once full of vibrant colors, now appears dull and gray. Life, as they knew it, no longer seems the same, and nothing feels as secure as it once did. It's an all-encompassing sense of instability, one that can last long after the relationship has ended. And then there's the anger, the white-hot fury that simmers under the surface of the pain. Anger at the person who cheated, but also anger at oneself for having trusted someone who could so easily betray that trust. It's a frustrating mixture of emotions. The heart wants to understand, to forgive, but the mind can't seem to reconcile the betrayal with the love they once felt. The anger often turns inward, leaving the person who was cheated on feeling as though they've been made a fool of. They replay every moment, every conversation, wondering if they missed the signs or if they could have done something differently. But no matter how many times they rewind the tape, the truth remains the same. They were deceived. There's also the issue of how others perceive the betrayal. Friends and family might offer sympathy, but no one can truly understand the depth of the hurt unless they've been through it themselves. There's often a sense of isolation for the person who's been cheated on. It's not just that they've lost a partner. They've lost the sense of being seen and understood in their pain. The world around them moves on, but they remain frozen in a moment of emotional devastation. For those who have been cheated on, the idea of moving forward is often daunting. How do you trust again after you've been lied to so convincingly? How do you open your heart to someone new when the memory of the betrayal still feels fresh and raw? The road to healing can feel incredibly lonely and long. Some people may try to jump into another relationship in an attempt to fill the void, but often this only leads to more hurt because the emotional scars haven't been addressed. Others might take a step back from romance altogether, focusing on self-care and healing. But this can also be a painful process as they try to reconnect with themselves outside of the context of a relationship. Time does heal, though it might not seem that way in the immediate aftermath. The intensity of the pain fades, but the scars often remain. Over time, the person who was cheated on learns to rebuild their self-esteem, to trust themselves again, and to create a life independent of the betrayal. The healing process is long and non-linear, but it is possible to find peace after infidelity. Ultimately, the person who was cheated on experiences a loss that goes beyond the relationship itself. It's the loss of trust in their own judgment, the loss of the dream of a shared future, and the loss of security in their emotional life. It's a deep, gut-wrenching hurt that doesn't fade overnight, but transforms slowly into a more manageable form of pain. They may never forget the betrayal, but over time, they can learn to forgive, not just their partner, but themselves. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means releasing the hold that the pain has on their heart and choosing to move forward. It's important to remember that healing from infidelity is a deeply personal journey. There's no right or wrong way to grieve the loss of a relationship, nor is there a timeline for healing. Some people will emerge stronger with a renewed sense of self-worth and a deeper understanding of what they need in a relationship. Others may struggle for longer, working through their feelings of betrayal and learning to trust again. Regardless of the path, though, the person who has been cheated on will eventually learn to live with the scars, finding ways to move forward without allowing the past to define their future. Through the pain, they will emerge with a new understanding of what love is, and more importantly, what it isn't. They'll come to understand that love is not about perfection, but about respect, honesty, and mutual care. The experience of being cheated on, while incredibly painful, will help them become more discerning in future relationships, recognizing the importance of trust, communication, and integrity. They may find that, though their hearts were broken, they are capable of love again, love that is deeper, stronger, and more resilient than ever before. In the end, the person who was cheated on will discover their own strength. They may have felt shattered and lost in the wake of betrayal, but over time, they will piece themselves back together, each moment of healing adding to their resilience. They will learn to protect their heart, but also to trust again. And in that journey, they will find themselves stronger, wiser, and more capable of experiencing the kind of love they deserve.